Guys, Garrett Sawyer here at Cradlepoint. I cover Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas for all public sector, law enforcement, first responders, K12s, and higher education. I'm going to do a quick tech talk today on K12 and school bus Wi-Fi. USAC just announced that they're going to allow for E-rate funding in the funding year 2024 for all school bus Wi-Fi, and we'll discuss a little bit on the applications, a little bit on the devices and the technology. Connected school bus, and here's some just the Wi-Fi specs associated with it. So this is all designed around providing compliant and secure Wi-Fi access to students riding the school bus to and from school, sporting events, field trips, and the like. So I would say that one of the most important things on this slide is around the SIPA compliant content filtering that we're able to provide. So in case you're not aware, SIPA stands for Child Internet Protection Act, and it's basically a framework for filtering that's appropriate for students under the age of 18 and for educational purposes. You can do this a couple of ways. Our devices are capable of running a filtering application within them that's pre-configured within the devices in our advanced licensing. Another option that we see school districts use is routing traffic back through their own ISD firewall. So you basically be hairpinning traffic back through the firewall and back out to the school bus, and it will create virtually an identical browsing environment that the student would experience within the four walls of the school, within the school bus. All of our 5G devices are backwards compatible to 4G and are actually backwards compatible all the way to 3G. You're not going to find much in the way of 3G throughout the US any longer, but there are some spots where it still exists. So I guess the moral of that story is just know that whether it's 5G, 4G, or 3G, that device is going to connect to a network and provide network connectivity to the applications on the bus and the students riding it. You can run up to about 100 users all connected simultaneously with our devices. On the average school bus, you're looking at somewhere between about 40 and 60 students on there, so no problem handling all the traffic and all of the students connected to the internet. Our devices also come with Ethernet ports to hardwire connections into the Cradlepoint. And when you think of this, I'd be thinking of cameras running over Ethernet, sensors running over Ethernet, panic buttons running over Ethernet, and any of those external peripherals that might need a hardwired Ethernet connection into the Cradlepoint itself and the network. They also have GPIO for vehicle diagnostics, sensors, and alarms, so you can manage your fleet, know when there might be something going awry, or just scheduled maintenance on them. All of our devices have Bluetooth connectivity options as well, and last but not least is remote browser isolation to prevent malware. And basically what this functionality does is when a student goes to a website, it opens it in a sandboxed environment and protects against any malware invasion or malware downloads or anything malicious that might be going on with that website, and provides a scrubbed version of that website in a safe and secure environment. As far as some of the applications that can be supported through Cradlepoint, obviously the front and center is the student Wi-Fi with some easy to apply SIPA security policies. I actually counted how many clicks this takes within our NetCloud Manager software to apply SIPA security policies, and I think it was between 3 and 4. And you can apply that SIPA security policy across a single device out in the field or thousands of devices out in the field. But a couple of the other applications that Cradlepoint devices within school bus fleet can support, and this is not a comprehensive list, but this is a few ideas on what it looks like. So you can stream bus camera footage live or offload it over the bus garage Wi-Fi directly through the Cradlepoint. And basically what that means is for the cameras that you have on your school bus, as they're driving around, they're collecting footage. If you don't need to look into them with a live view, you can set up the Cradlepoint to, as soon as you drive that bus back into the school bus garage and that Cradlepoint sees that school bus garage Wi-Fi is available, it's going to start offloading all the footage content from that bus onto the school district's either internal storage area network or a cloud environment. You can also, though, send camera feeds directly back to administration or local law enforcement and first responders when it's appropriate. We see a lot of school districts wanting to be able to do live look-ins in the event that there's a cardiac arrest or a fight or, God forbid, a knife or a gun, but just gives more visibility and provides a safer environment for students and the transportation that they use. As far as AVL and CAD integration, we can handle both of those. AVL is automatic vehicle location, and CAD is computer aided dispatch. If you've got an existing AVL or CAD, we're happy to integrate with those providers as well too. Panic button integration with geolocation sent from Cradlepoint. So what this allows you to do is put a panic button and integrate it right into the dashboard by the driver of the school bus. And if there is something where there's an emergency, they can push that button. It can send that feed off to the administration within the school district and even off to local law enforcement. It can provide that footage. It can provide the geolocation of the bus and the date and time stamps so that you can get emergency services out to the school bus in a faster manner. We do stop arm sensor integration and stop arm camera integration. We've also got integration capabilities with ridership counters, right? Making sure that if 37 students got onto the bus, that it wasn't 34 that got off the bus, that all 37 got off the bus and got to where they needed to be. And then last but not least on here is the bus all clear button to ensure all students are off the bus. And basically what this does is there would be a button at the back of the bus that the bus driver would be required to push before he or she exited the bus after they've dropped off all the students. And basically it's just a fail safe so that the bus driver walks the entire length of the school bus, pushes the button, and ensures that all the students are off the bus. This becomes really important in cold and really warm environments. I myself live in Minnesota. We get really cold weather, 10, 20 below zero, if not more, and hypothermia can set in quickly. So we want to make sure that all those students are off the bus and to where they need to be safely. Now I'll hit on just a couple of devices. So the first one that I'm going to hit on is the 5G R1900, and that's paired up here on the screen with a panorama shark fin antenna. Now the beauty of this device is it's a 5G device, but again, it's always backwards compatible to 4G and 3G. The 5G is embedded in it. There's nothing that you need to do to it. It's ruggedized metal, mil spec. It's got a firewall built into it at 940 meg. You can run up to 20 concurrent VPN tunnels on it. For the school bus application, you're probably going to see a majority of them only requiring a single VPN, but if you have the need for more, this will fully support that. You've also got Wi-Fi dual band concurrence and extreme operating temperatures on it as well too. Now the image that you're looking at here are both ends of the R1900. You're going to see on the top image that you've got 4 WAN LAN ports, and they're all reverse configurable, so you can chop it up into whatever denomination you need it to be. On the other side of it, you're going to see a bunch of antenna leads. So on this one, you're going to have 4 cellular leads, 2 Wi-Fi leads, 1 Bluetooth, and 1 GPS. You don't have to use Bluetooth, and you don't have to use GPS, and you don't even have to use Wi-Fi if you don't want to. I'm not sure why you wouldn't, being that this would be a school bus application, but you would be required to use all 4 cellular leads. There we go. And last but not least is the 5G R2100. Now, the beauty of this device is in its simplicity and single form factor, right? So with what you're looking at here on your screen is the entire device, including the antenna. So this is going to come with the router, the modem, and the antenna all built into one device. It's an externally mounted device, so this would be mounted on the roof of a school bus with a power cable running down into ignition sensing, or you can run it PoE, power the Cradlepoint over PoE with the Ethernet cable on there as well too. So if you wanted to run it down into an Ethernet switch that could provide PoE, you could power it that way as well too. All of our devices have delayed ignition sensing. So the way that gets used most commonly in school districts is let's say that you've got a school bus that goes back to the school bus garage and it's offloading its video content over cellular or over Wi-Fi. You turn the school bus off, but you've got the Cradlepoint designed to stay on for an additional 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 or 20 minutes to make sure that all that video content that's offloading finishes its offload. This device is going to have a VPN tunnel count of 10, so not quite as many as the R1900, but again, for the application, you're probably only looking at needing one VPN tunnel for school bus Wi-Fi. But again, if there's a need for more, you can run up to 10 on this. Again, extreme operating temperatures of -22 to 158 over. Dual connectivity with 5G, backwards compatible to 4G and 3G. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I really appreciate you giving me some of your time, and look forward to chatting with you. Thank you.